Okay, I'd like to take the opportunity right now we've set up a microphone right down here, and I see a lot of faces that I haven't seen in a long time. And I know there's a lot of people out here that have a lot of stories, a lot of great moments that they might want to share, a quick moment that you had with Loren. And, you know, I don't care if this thing takes 2 more hours, because this is about Loren. It's about celebrating his life. So I want to ask, apparently my brother's going to start the deal off. When he's done, I would really like any of you who want to share a moment with Loren, please come up and share it with us. We would love to hear it. And then as soon as that's done, then we'll go through a little slideshow presentation about Loren's life.
Actually, there's not a whole lot I can say about Loren that somebody hasn't already said, because pretty much all the memories and the things that have happened, I was either part of there or heard about afterwards. So there's really not a whole lot more I can say, other than I do know that looking around, I'm amazed at how many friends Loren actually had and how many lives he really touched, because at the end he thought he had 3 friends left in the world. That's not the case. So I'm so glad you're all here, and I know he's smiling knowing that you're all here too. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say, but I would like to have somebody else come up and if they have something to say about Loren. Ted.
You know, my family and I have been fortunate to be friends with the Bates for about 15 years now, at least. Of course, it goes back further than that. My father and Larry served together years ago. And watching Loren interact with family, friends, my kids, his nieces and nephews, and everybody else, I think I discovered a little bit of what were the keys to Loren's success. I know he didn't feel like he necessarily had a lot, but in dealing with people, Loren was an extremely successful man. And the 3 things that stand out to me the most about Loren's success were humor, sarcasm, and respect. And those 3 things meant a lot to me as I reflected on him, especially the way he dealt with my children. We weren't relatives by blood, but Loren was Uncle Loren to my kids. And I've noticed that with Larry and Charlie and Kevin as well, but I'm sorry guys, he had the sarcasm thing down. But the respect that he showed, no matter somebody's status, no matter what their age, is it any wonder why people wanted to be around him? When Loren had fun, everybody had fun, and he made sure everybody shared in that. So much more that can be said, but I'm not going to hog the time here. Just in ending here, know that Loren is in a better place, even though he's probably there a little sooner than we all wanted him to be. Know that the Lord will help us through it, and we can help ourselves as well. So, thank you.
Well, I wanted to maybe lighten it up just a little bit and tell you a few quick funny stories. When we were young, probably, you're going back 25 years, it tells you how old we're getting, guys. 25 years ago, Loren had an orange Nova. I think most of you remember that orange Nova. And man, we had a lot of fun in that car. I had a lot of fun in that car. It was jacked up. It was painted all pretty orange with the chrome tires and stuff on it. And just a cool car, you know. Loren had the cool car. So we all lived together around the same area. Loren was living in Cherry Lane subdivision at the time. I lived down on Cherry Lane and Black Cat, and Brian Pape lived up the hill on Black Cat. So our most frequently traveled road was Black Cat Road. Well, most of you that maybe grew up around here, went to school around here, would realize that when they built the railroad tracks across there, it made a perfect jump, just a perfect jump. And so we'd go back and forth on this road all the time. I mean, constantly we were going back and forth on this road. And a lot of us in this room has experienced this. They've since changed it for you kids that are in the room now, so you can't do it anymore. But So we go back and forth. And I remember you'd hit it going about 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. Your stomach would go up in your air, like you're on a circus ride. So one night we're going up to Brian's house, and Loren decides he's going to set the world record. And I remember the look on his face. He had just had that little, that grin. You know what I mean? He looks over at me and says, we're going to do this right. So he nails it, and we get going we're doing about 80 miles an hour when we hit this thing. All 4 tires come off the ground. We're like Starsky and Hutch, flying through the air. All our heads hit the ceilings, and we come down, sparks are flying everywhere. It's not a wonder all the tires didn't go flat. And we had to stop at the very end, pull over, make sure the car was okay, and that was one of the more fun times we had in that car. And I remember him looking back and saying, man, we did it. I said, you did it, Loren, you did it, man, and I don't think anybody ever topped that one. You sure you did? Well, we might have with Joe Wright on the road bike, but I'll tell that one later. There's also another time, again, with the car. I don't know what it is with the car, but there was another time with the car that we were going to the drive-in. We always went to the drive-in to watch the movie. And so back then we all chewed. We all chewed Copenhagen. And you always had a spit cup or something in the car and spit in it and everything so that we didn't get down the side of the car because that wasn't very good for picking up girls. So we'd always have it inside there. So we go to the drive-in, we're there at the drive-in and we see everybody, and I don't know what was going on. We wanted to go somewhere else, maybe somewhere else to hang out. So we're pulling out, most of you remember Meridian Drive-In. Meridian's changed so much over the last 25 years, but so we come pulling out of the Meridian Drive-In. Well, it was a double lane, going eastbound. And so Loren pulls into the first lane, and right when it was him and I and Brian. So we were all 3 sitting in the front seat. And Loren's driving, obviously. Brian's in the middle, and I'm sitting on the other side because I called shotgun. And so Loren pulls out. And as soon as he does, this guy changes lanes. And it really, truly wasn't his fault. But the guy changes lanes right as we're pulling out. And as soon as he does, he smashes right into the side of us. Just smashes totally. The car comes up on the hood. It shook us all through we were all over the place. He hit us hard. And so we're all looking at each other. It's like, oh my God, you okay? You okay? I'm bleeding. We're all saying, I'm bleeding. We're all thinking that we're bleeding. It was the chew cup that we'd all been spitting in. And we had brown goop globbed all on our heads and in our hair. It was all over the place. And I don't know if Loren was more sick about that or his car. Because it was total. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the end of that car. But I just thought I'd share a few of those more lighthearted moments. Loren was the best man at my wedding, and he could probably have been the best man at almost anybody's wedding here. And we're all going to miss him, obviously, but I think everybody's right. We need to celebrate his life. And LB, man, we loved you, man.